My whole outlook about writing changed because it changed the way I felt about my own writing. It really put me in touch with how my students felt as writers and how I understood finally their reticence to write. I understood their being shy about sharing their writing. Somehow, between the time they're in elementary school to the time I get them in high school, that wonderful free spirit of just writing down what's in your head stopped somewhere along the line. And it really put me in touch with perhaps why that began to happen, because we had all these different rules and regulations about what good writing was and how mine was not in the same vein as some of the other kids who received A's and whatnot. It was the whole grading and evaluation of writing that somehow had just shut their heads down that I can't write, I'm not a writer, don't even try, miss, is what I get all the time. And now I can say, yes, you are a writer. If I'm a writer, you're a writer.
I took a closer look at my children. I could look at them in a different way. It was refreshing. I got rid of some of the cynicism. With testing and mandates and things that are in place, I was very frustrated. And so I realized I could put it in the back burner, I could set it aside, and I could look at my children as being my children, and I could sort of close the door. And although I had to comply with mandates and I had to comply with testing, I felt like I had a support system behind me that could help me to really enjoy teaching and see that spark in my children and keep it there instead of having to just drill and kill and drill and kill.
I think it encouraged me to support students to do the same thing, to bring their own cultures into their work, to give them more choice in their own writing, and to celebrate that, to celebrate the differences that we have, and to capitalize on the variety that can bring to a classroom.
I think ultimately what's so amazing about Central Texas Writing Project and the community that it builds is that we all realize as teachers that it's our responsibility to be exactly who we are and to write that voice, to express that voice, and then to lead by example and encourage kids to just be who they are and to be confident in that.
Making it easier for me to understand that I was an expert and that I had something to say and I could believe in myself and say that. The whole model that the Writing Project has is teachers teaching teachers. And so that was very, and still is, very empowering, I think, for all of us, is that we, so often we're in control of our classrooms and that's where our control stops. But with the Writing Project, teachers are very empowered by the knowledge they already know and the knowledge that they learn new things about themselves and about the profession.
As a team leader in 4th grade and as a literacy specialist, getting the teachers on board from the way they've been teaching writing their whole entire careers, I had the tools. I became like this psycho for professional literature after the Writing Project. All summer I pick 2 or 3 professional books where I read, and I took a job in math. And when I took that job in middle school math, I was way out of my comfort zone because I'd been teaching writing and reading and all that. And what I had learned from the Central Texas Writing Project was do the research. So I got some books on best practices in math. I joined the National Council of Teachers of Math. I immersed myself in what was best about math and also got to do writing with math, which was a hard sell to most of those math teachers that I worked with.
The third thing that the Writing Project brought me was a sense of hope for education in America. Honestly, I thought there was no hope. I thought that I had seen it all and I'd done it all and that it was not going to get any worse. Well, it has gotten worse. It's gotten much worse in the 4 years since I've been through the Institute. But it gave me energy to fight that with a sense of righteousness, of what was right and what was wrong. And it also gave me a sense of peace. So for me, the Writing Project saved me as a teacher.
Many of the professional development opportunities I had prior to the Institute were very top-down, where it was a so-called expert coming in to tell us how to do things. And what I think is so beautiful about the writing project is that it's much more grassroots. It's not top-down. It's more about teachers working alongside other teachers and learning together and sharing our knowledge base. So in terms of writing and in terms of a paradigm for staff development, I think the writing project is unique in that way. I don't know of any other opportunities for teachers to get together on this kind of level that are along the same ideology.